Idea for observability product. We pay money for observability software, right? Okay, we get value from that observability software, right? Right. Except, is the value proportional to the cost? That is the question I have. And so when cost explodes, for most companies, that is not a problem if the value that they're getting from their software is also exploding, but very often it's not. Very often the value is kind of fairly stagnant, but the cost all of a sudden spikes up. And that is a common occurrence in my experience. So if the problem is not cost alone, but cost versus value, why don't we have a suite of observability products that measure what you're looking at, what metrics you're looking at, what logs, what traces you're actually looking at and deriving value from, and weight those so that somewhere in some dashboard somewhere, it shows that those are really important signals. And the signals that you don't look at, the logs that just go completely unqueried, we reduce that importance. And then you could say, show me all the low importance logs. They can be filtered out, maybe archive.s3 or something. And we would have a true model for the value of observability data, which would reduce the cost. I've seen a few startups that are kind of looking in this space, and there's some really interesting ideas going on. So it's not a new idea at all, but yeah. So what is the value of your observability data? And then even cooler is if that could just be monitoring logs and monitoring the value and feed that back into your IDE. So then you can say to your IDE, show me all the instrumentation that is low value and just delete it. Or get an LLM to delete it all safely for you. Or you could be looking through a code and it could highlight a log statement in red, let's say, that is low value and say you should probably delete this because it doesn't really help you. And then it could even go the next stage further and say, given all the value that you've got in the past, here's what I suggest you do to this file to add some instrumentation into it that would be valuable to you because you've not got sight of A, B, and C. That's something an LLM could do. So that's a bit of a random idea on top of the original idea, but there are startups doing this kind of idea, but I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. Would that be useful to you? What are you skeptical about? Put your answers below. Bye.